Have you ever wondered why some people always struggle financially, while others seem to always have it easy when it comes to money and personal finance? Well, that is what this video is all about. The 7 levels of wealth. Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Obed. Here we'll talk about personal finance and wealth building. So today we are diving into the 7 levels of wealth, from dependent and broke to wealth and abundance. Knowing which level you are is the first step towards moving up. Now, each level has its own mindsets, habits, and even relationship with luxury, with income, with debt, and with comfort. It's not just about getting rich, it's about building a life of options, a life of freedom, purpose, and peace. So by the end of this video, you are going to be learning where you are in your wealth building journey and what to do to move to the next level. So, 7 levels of wealth. Let's dive in. Number one is called financial dependence. It's like the name implies, you are dependent on other persons for your financial needs, either your parents, family members, or even the government. The people at this stage are mostly people in the extremes of age, talking about children who are yet to start working or elderly people who can no longer work. Some disabled people can also be found here, and some special set of people like people who are entitled, lazy, and people who play the victim's card. The people in this group have not developed the skills or the resources to support themselves financially. They do not have a consistent income source, if they even have an income source at all. For these people, luxury is only a fantasy, and comfort for them is a very temporary thing. These people are usually always in debt, whether it is credit card debt or loans from different places, and they always require bailout financially. What do you do to move to the next level if you are here? You need to find a way to start earning money as much as possible, no matter how small the income is. Find a way to start earning. Once you start earning, you can gradually grow and outgrow the dependency stage. But first of all, start earning. Now, the second level of wealth is what is called financial survival. And as the name implies, they are just surviving. These persons earn just enough to cover for their basic living expenses and nothing more. They are often living paycheck to paycheck, and their income is never enough to cover for all their needs. So for these people, there is no room for savings and investments, and any form of emergency can quickly wipe them out and send them into financial crisis. These people, if they have any form of luxury, it is usually financed through loans and debts. So they are at high risk of being in debt because of their lack of any form of financial cushion. For people in financial survival, passive income is non-existent, as almost all their money comes from actively working. These people are considered poor. If you hear the word the poor masses, these are the set of people in that category. What do you do to move away from this level? You need to have a budget and stick to it, and subsequently also find ways to increase your income. If you are able to stick to a budget, you can break free eventually from living paycheck to paycheck. The third level of wealth is called financial stability. Now, people in financial stability are making enough money to cover for most of their living expenses. For these people, they can pay their bills on time, they can afford to feed well, to comfortably pay for their basic accommodation, and they have some form of emergency funds like 3 to 6 months of their living expenses paid. Their income is equal to or at least slightly higher than their expenses. These people can enjoy some minimal form of luxury occasionally, like small vacations. They have started to pay off their debts. However, they are still somehow in debt. They are now living in relative comfort. However, any form of major financial emergency can put them into regression. People in financial stability have begun to understand and earn from passive income. However, they are not earning anything significant from their investments yet. These people are not considered rich. However, they are not also considered poor. People in the lower middle class are around this stage. Now, what do you do to move to the next level if you are in financial stability? You need to build an emergency fund quickly and also get rid of high interest debts. If you do that, you can quickly move to the next stage of wealth. Now, the fourth stage of wealth is what is called financial security. Now, people in financial security have considerably higher income than their expenses. That means that they have a financial margin. The difference between their income and their expenses is significant. That way, they can start to talk about savings and investments. These people have about 2 years of their living expenses saved up, either in emergency funds or even in investments. They now have passive income flowing in from their various investments that is paying for most of their living expenses, and they have a growing investment portfolio. They have passive income coming in from things like dividend income, rental income. These people, if they are in debt, it's usually minimal, or things like mortgage or business loans. They can handle most emergencies that life throws at them because they have financial cushion. These people can enjoy luxury strategically, but they cannot yet be impulsive about luxury spendings. People in financial security cannot yet afford to retire, even if they have a lot of financial cushion. So to move from this level to the next level, you need to develop other reliable and consistent streams of income separate from the one you currently have. If you are able to pay attention to multiple streams of income and widen your income streams, you can move to the next level of wealth. Now, the fifth level of wealth is financial independence. Now, financial independence is the stage where your passive income is enough to cover for all your living expenses without you having to work. Now, at this stage, you can actually afford to quit your job and still live comfortably because money coming in from your passive income is enough to fund your lifestyle and your expenses. These people are not in any form of toxic debt, but they could also have used some debt to finance their investments, maybe leveraged investment or business loans. At this stage, you are in total control of your time. You can decide to either work or not to work. Comfort is their default at this stage, and financial stress is rare or even non-existent. Luxury for people in financial independence is an option that is affordable and is no longer tied to their self-worth or dignity. Now, to move from this stage to the next level, you need to learn how to manage money and invest intentionally and strategically. The sixth level of wealth is what is called financial freedom. Now, at the level of financial freedom, you are making more money from your passive income than you can spend. That means that you have financial surplus even from your passive income. At this level, you have the freedom to live life on your own terms. You can fund big goals and experiences like vacation travels, philanthropic activities, and passion projects. People at this stage are not usually in debt, except, of course, business debt and leveraged investments. Luxury is integrated into your life at this stage. It is your way of life and it is guilt free and usually shared with other people. Now, you can choose how to spend your time and money without any serious financial constraints. These people are the truly wealthy. To move from this stage to the next and final stage of wealth, you need to focus on impact building talking about legacy building, philanthropy, and mentoring, giving back to society. Now, the seventh and the last level of wealth is what is called financial abundance. Now, at the level of financial abundance, money is no longer a limitation. It's just now a tool for impact and legacy. Your wealth at this stage is diversified, is scalable, and multi-generational. You have money that affects not just you, but your children and even your children's children. At this stage, you are creating opportunities for hundreds and thousands of other people through job creation, investments, and even philanthropy and giving back to society. Just ways of spending your money employs thousands of people. At this stage, your lifestyle reflects abundance, and even without trying to show off, high-end luxury is your way of life, as you can afford all the good things of life. At this stage, you have more money than you can possibly spend in one lifetime, and it takes work to actually finish spending your money. This is the stage where you begin to affect entire industries and whole nations. When you speak, world leaders and presidents listen because you affect the cause of their nation. Your decisions affect millions and even billions of people. This is the highest level of wealth. Now, these are the seven different levels of wealth. You will realize that progressing from one level to the next requires some level of financial discipline. It requires some mindset shift, hard work, prudent saving and investing, and even an abundance and a growth mindset. These things you need to have in order to move from level to the next level. Now, everybody must not get to the peak of wealth. However, every new level represents an improvement in your financial status. Now, which level of wealth are you currently at? And what do you need to do to move to the next level of wealth? Let me hear you in the comment section. If you found this video educating, please like the video and do subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos on personal finance and wealth building. See you in this next video.